Today we are going to talk about dismissive avoidance. Now, someone who is a dismissive avoidant will avoid intimacy and closeness at all costs. Now, this person, they were brought up with emotional neglect, but they didn't even consider this to be emotional neglect. They most likely thought this type of parenting from their parents was standard procedure. So they were taught at an early age to suppress their feelings. Of course, their mom or their dad didn't openly say, you have to suppress your feelings, but they were punished or their feelings were dismissed at an early age when they attempted to express themselves. So they could just say to their parent, I'm feeling like this, I feel sad. The parent might not say anything, or strangely enough, the parent might get angry and say, it's only right if you keep that to yourself. You're making everyone around you feel uncomfortable, okay? So yes, they're definitely internalizing it. And they're going to feel more by way of the concept of conditional love. Let's say they spill their milk across the table, the glass breaks, parent isn't talking to them for hours. Kid could be young enough and say, I hate you. Parent also doesn't talk to them for maybe hours. So then, they feel they have to be self-reliant, resilient, so careful about what they say. Now, I don't want to kind of compartmentalize this into generations, but this is kind of baby boomerish parental raising, very Generation X, okay? That generation, you didn't have to be nice. You didn't have to be open. I don't want to say never, but openly being expressive with how you're feeling, it wasn't something that was known or really necessarily encouraged. Physical beatings weren't considered abuse. It would have been a way of discipline, though I don't want to, get too much into that. The baby boomers right now are they're not exactly coming forward and realizing their style of parenting wasn't okay. But some of them, were actually shocked, thinking, wow, well, this is what I thought was okay. This is how I was raised, and, and so forth. So someone with, with dismissive avoidant issues, they're very independent. They have a whole set of rules, boundaries that that are pretty well known that they'll express depending on who they're talking to very early. They're really good problem solvers. They're excellent problem solvers at work. And what, in a work-related way, makes it appealing is that they're not going to ask for help for anyone else. They want to do this themselves because early on they had to fend for themselves. Okay, so this is excellent in the workplace, but this is not good in kind of the dating sphere. So they're problem solvers. They want everything to appear a certain way. So they are going to appear to their ideal partner as very polished, very perfect in the sense of being attentive, meeting this person's needs. So whomever they're with is going to think they got the dating jackpot. They're like, wow, they're so nice, they're so friendly, they care about me, the conversations are great, the communication is awesome, vacations, sleepovers, dinners, perfect. Okay, but after a few months, something sets off in the dismissive avoidance brain. They start freaking out, thinking, okay, I think I'm trapped in this relationship. Okay, I'm going to lose my independence. I'm trapped in this relationship. This feels really, really awful. So they start to figure out or try to find ways to get out of it. They could say, oh, well, this person sleeps in. I mean, it's a weekend and all, but still, I don't think they should sleep in. Or, yeah, they're incredibly slovenly. They're slovenly. They always leave a mess. So this is horrible. They're slovenly and they have no goals. So I don't really think I can be around someone like this. So they're going to pull away very, very gradually. So let's say you happen to call on it. They might say, oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, because they don't want to be involved in, conflict. They could also say that they're just busy, but what is unusual is if they admit it, or the closest thing to them admitting it. They could say, okay, all right, okay, I have been thinking about all of this and I don't think it's working for me. Or they could say, I'm just questioning it, and from what I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know. Now, if they sense that you're panicking or you're just anxious about all of this, this can trigger, their symptoms of it more. And the worst case scenario, they'll just ghost, disappear, and you'll be in shock about what happened. Most likely for a while, they're just going to continue dragging this whole thing away. So what do? Unfortunately, the whole thing falls on you. You have to be secure and just feel attached and to not take it personally. Don't get upset. Don't criticize and offer ultimatums. Don't criticize by saying things like, I thought we agreed to be open with each other. I'm trying to communicate with you and you're just pushing me away. We had an agreement. You said you were going to call me at this time and I'm not even hearing from you. Why? You weren't like this before. What are you doing? Okay, don't do that. And don't offer an ultimatum by saying, okay, well, if you don't do this, then I'm going to, kind of implying that you're going to end everything. Well, they already have one foot out the door and this is just going to push, accelerate the process. So what you do, you sit back and let them have space. Pretty much don't do anything. Let them make the first move. Since they're usually problem solvers and everything is about logic, they might be weighing in a logical, sense about what's going on. Okay, she's probably upset because I didn't do this. Or, well, X, A, B, and C will equal this. 1 + 1 will equal that. So, in theory, she probably is upset. Logically speaking, this makes so much sense. So they can reciprocate in the way that you were giving to them, and now they may or may not reciprocate, to you, towards you. Will this happen if you give them space? No, not necessarily, but it could. And this is really the only way to go about it and all. So go through all of this, and if it's just not working, just know that it's definitely okay to walk away. Okay, so thanks for watching.